Hello and welcome back to Querer es Poder, where there's a will, there's a way, sponsored by Union Bank. Our show is about inspiring, educating, and motivating our listeners who want to succeed in the business world. And today, right now, we have a very special guest on the phone, a leader for the future of California. And I'm going to pass this to Bill.
Absolutely, absolutely. We have Elizabeth Emken on the phone. Elizabeth, are you there, please?
I am. Good morning, Bill. Good morning, Patsy.
Good morning. Good morning. Elizabeth, before we get into politics, tell us a little bit about yourself. Where were you raised, and where were you educated?
I actually not too far from beautiful Santa Clarita. I was, by the way, enjoyed our evening last night in your gorgeous vineyard area there. I actually went to UCLA. I have dual degrees in economics and political science. I grew up in Los Alamitos, just a little bit, maybe an hour and a half south of Santa Clarita.
Los Alamitos. Do they still have the racetrack over there? Do you know?
I don't think they do. I'm not sure.
I think it's gone. I
lived right across from the air station.
Oh, okay.
Los Alamitos for many years, and a great place to grow up, as you can imagine. And I moved up north to work at IBM after my education. I did cost and financial management work for there, comparing business units around the U.S.
I want to expand on that a little more because you weren't just working for IBM. IBM's a huge corporation, over 100,000 employees. But you were working in the financial area of IBM. Yes.
It's interesting. You never know where life is going to take you and how things are going to become so relevant. But what I did at IBM in a true business environment was compare business units one to the next and look for ways to be more efficient and more productive. And my second career, which I'm sure we'll talk about in a moment, led me to a place where I see our federal agencies, and you can just up close and personal, you can see that they're not doing the normal mechanisms for cost management that our businesses, our competitive businesses, do, and they can and should be implemented.
Well, I agree. And so you left IBM. You went to your second career.
My second career was a drafted career, if you will, when my son was diagnosed with autism. I ended up advocating on behalf of children like him, who literally can't speak for themselves. I became Vice President of Government Relations for Autism Speaks and became very familiar with the legislative process at a federal level, and also became very familiar with how broken our federal government really is and how we desperately need business people to get back to D.C. and fix some of the issues at hand.
So what made you decide to run for the Senate? I mean, you're in an uphill climb.
Well, where there's a will, there's a way, or so I heard.
There you go. We believe in that.
I do, too. It was Obamacare when I really had a front row seat to some of the, I believe, very harmful legislation that was put forward in 2009, including Obamacare, and I just had a citizen moment. I said, this is bad for business. It's bad for children. It's bad for Americans. Obamacare is bad for everyone, really. And my personal congressman at the time was really disconnected from the issues, and I decided to, put my toe in the ring, if you will, and run for office, and learned a lot about the process. And I have I've learned a lot about what it takes to run for office, and I have a great team. A lot of the same people who helped Carly Fiorina in 2010, but we are very committed to reaching out to Californians who have been completely disenfranchised by the lack of leadership of Dianne Feinstein over the last 20 years, and who are looking for someone who understands what they're going through. And here I am, poised to win the runoff on June 5th. I hope everyone listening will vote Elizabeth Emken on your ballots. You should have them now. And spend the next 5 months really discussing how Dianne Feinstein has not shown the leadership that she should for businesses and for families.
Well, I'd say you put more than your toe in the water. You're in full bore.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Initially I did with my first congressional run, but we spent a good year getting prepared for this Senate run, and I have a great team and a great support system, and we are full bore ready to run against Feinstein.
And Elizabeth, what are your 2 or 3 priorities should you get into the Senate?
That's a great question, and you know, all of your listeners who are interested in growing their businesses and really capturing the American dream for themselves will appreciate that I'm very laser focused on growing our economy again. And in order to do that, we will have to address our national debt, which is really the albatross around businesses' necks now. That and our tax code desperately needs to be revamped. We have a tax code that's not competitive for businesses. It's driving business out of California, either out of state or overseas. We have to become more competitive, or we're not going to be able to return our golden state to the golden days. I mean, we are now 48th out of 50th in terms of unemployment. Our unemployment's 30% higher than the rest of the country. There's a direct correlation between our unemployment problem and businesses leaving our state.
Elizabeth, in the half a minute that we have left, how do we contact you? Those who want to support you, how do they do that?
The best way is to go to my website. It's Emken, it's E as in Edward, M as in Mary, K-E-N as in Nancy, 2012.com. You can sign up there and read more about me. I'm also on Twitter, as you both are, at Elizabeth Emken, and on Facebook at Elizabeth Emken.
Great. One of the things we love about our show is the ability to interview fantastic people such as you, Elizabeth. I wish you the best of luck, and to our listeners, I will tell you I have met Elizabeth personally, and I think she is one fantastic leader. And I
think so too. And if you want to see some pictures from Elizabeth's visit from yesterday at the Vineyard area in Agua Dulce, you can also check Facebook, Our Valley's Facebook. We have pictures right now over there.
Yeah, go on Facebook and go to the Our Valley site, and you will see pictures of last night's event.
Yes.
Fantastic. Thank you, Elizabeth. Good luck.
Thanks so much. Thanks, Patsy.
Thanks to you.
We're going to take a break. This is Bill Miranda. The show is Querer es Poder on your hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS.